We only have 60. Oh, there we go. We got more people coming in. Excellent. Excellent. Happy tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Or is today's also Shrove Tuesday, which is also known as Pancake Day or Fat Tuesday. Isn't it today Fat Tuesday as well?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is.
So there you go. I mean, I'm surprised we don't have the day off of work. We should all, you know what? You all have my permission. You just mention it to your administrators that you're just taking the day off today because it's a holiday. I try to take all the big ones off, like Groundhog Day, things like that. As
we had Super Bowls yesterday.
There goes Tony again. You need to be in New York, Northeast with all the snow.
There you go. So is it snowing? I understand.
Oh, it's snowing like crazy. I don't know about you, Jake, but we got the snow. We're off.
Tony, you don't have a Valentine's Day themed joke for us by any chance, do you?
I actually do. It was, every Valentine's Day I try to make these really something special for someone special in my life, and I decided I was going to make these heart-shaped cookies. And so I was reading the recipe, and I'm having trouble because when I read the recipe, it said turn the oven to 180 degrees, and now I can't open the door.
Oh, no.
Tony, I got a heart-shaped cookie, and it just says, I tolerate you.
Yeah, the one I usually get is one that says, you'll do. So, well, good morning, those of you that are here hoping for a productive meeting. We will have one eventually. I just wanted to put out a few notes before we get started. Those of you, if you're new, I'm Tony Colson. I lead the CAE Community National Center project, and I guess I've been doing it for 11 years.
Wow.
The idea behind the CAE Community National Center, of course, is to share resources and also collaborate as colleagues between the community colleges, universities, and others that join in on trying to move cyber workforce forward. And so we have, as is usual, every year we have the CAE Community Symposium, which is a gathering of the academics. And that is April 16th and 17th in Louisville. I got to say it right, because every time I call it Louisville, somebody tells me I'm pronouncing it wrong. Louisville, Kentucky. The first go round, because of the nature of our contract, is we have to give the points of contact. That is the primary person that is that is in charge of the CAE designation at your institution. They get priority registration. That is now about to be turned off, and that means that you can add a +1 from your institution. So Vanessa, when are we allowing the +1s to come in?
So on February 19th, which is this coming Monday, President's Day, I'll open it up to that broader audience. We have currently 392 already registered.
Total capacity is 550.
Yes.
Our 392 is the biggest symposium we've ever had, and this, of course, is the first year we're not tied to the NICE conference. So we have the symposium, and then the next day, so Tuesday and Wednesday are symposium. The next day, which is Thursday, will be a half-day program management office from the CAE NSA PMO meeting. And so we hope to see as many of you there as possible. And,
Tony, what are the dates again?
So April 16th and 17th, and then the PMO meeting is the 18th.
And you said it's not a NICE conference?
It is not the NICE conference. It is not tied to the NICE conference this year.
Is it nicer?
Ah! There used to be a project called NICER.
That was funny.
Yeah, but it is true. It is. There was a NICE RC. That's what. So it's nicer. That No, I guess we'll be the naughty conference. And instead of naughty, nice, we'll be, we're the CAE community. So we're doing that. And then in 2025, we've already got that set out, and that will be in Charleston, South Carolina in April 2025. So we've got it all set up.
Can you please give us the exact dates? I can't go this year because of the short notice. And if I have the exact dates, I can put it on my calendar so I don't have a conflict.
Okay, I'll have Vanessa put that in the chat for you, but we opened this up in January, so I hoped it was enough notice for you.
Already had 3 things scheduled in April.
Yeah, contracting being what it is, but we have such a large crowd that the main hotel is already sold out. The Galt House Hotel has sold out. So we're offering the Cambria, which is about 0.3 of a mile down the street. We're going to provide shuttles for those that need it. And the Cambria is very nice and highly recommended by the University of Louisville faculty. So why they stay there, I don't know. But hey, we've got that other overflow hotel, and I believe they have quite a number of rooms left. And the rate is about, I think, $159.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Hey, Tony, I have a question before
Shoot.
Since we have a little time. Do we get any feedback on our annual report?
Yes, so the annual report is, once it's done collecting, there'll be some, you'll receive feedback, I think, before April.
Okay.
I know that what they're doing is they're going through the annual reports, and then if there's something that needs to be changed or was misinterpreted. I can tell you, we had a meeting last week, and one of the issues that came up in aggregate is a number of people are putting their entire school's data for things like graduation, as opposed to people that are coming out of their designated CAE program. So if you did that, it's nice that you have 600 PhDs, but if you're producing 600 PhDs in cybersecurity, there's a lot of people that want to talk to you. Just saying. But yeah, there will be something, but that's really a question for the program office. They set that deadline. We're just collecting the data, and we don't actually get involved in how that will be evaluated.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions about the symposium, etc.? We're all good.
Is travel assistance available for the alternate POC or just the POC?
It is dependent on budget. Right now, it is only the POC. We'll know more next week based on requests. So by the 19th, that's kind of why we're staggering it, because we want to see how much is left in the pool.
We have to, Tony, do we have to do anything for POC to get the travel assistance? Or I haven't received any emails or anything. Is there a form we had to fill out?
Vanessa?
So there's no form. We are sending out communications through Eventry, which is the registration application. We're sending out through that because that's the best way I can communicate with you. So if you haven't received a travel assistance email, you'll likely see one again, maybe later on today. And you don't have to request anything. If you're the POC, you're getting it. And if you have other funds you want to use, you can go ahead and do that. Just let us know. Otherwise, we'll be Robin Robertson. She'll be sending out something early April to all the POCs.
You said it was only through the app or through emails, because I don't have the app.
Actually, I got my second email today.
Yeah, it's through the email.
POC.
So the registration system is called Eventory. And
Yes.
that's what gave you your tickets, and then you will get communication related to your travel assistance through an email that says Eventory at the top.
Okay, all right.
And
Thank
they
you.
sent the second one today, so you should have been getting it already.
Okay, all right.
I know that Bill, you usually just have my emails go right to spam, but you might turn off your spam filter today.
Well,
Okay.
my spam is AI, so it learns that, so.
That's hilarious. Okay. To keep up with time, unless Vanessa, I saw you move your hand. Do you have something else you want to add? Nope. Okay. In the interest of time, it is my pleasure to introduce Jake Mihevik that's going to talk about the NCAE Cyber Games competition. So Jake, take it away.
Thanks, Tony. And hello again, everyone. I am Jake Mihevik from Mohawk Valley Community College. I'm the PI of the CAE Cyber Games project. We are entering our 3rd season and it is already pretty awesome. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about what happens at the CAE Cyber Games and talk about how to get connected for this year. Our goal is to broaden the pathway into cybersecurity competitions. We're here to help you build a club, get your club connected to competitions. For those of you that have a club that already does competitions, we are your side-by-side companion for your B team, your students that are just joining the club and will be on your more advanced competitions teams in the future. We're here to run parallel to that. In addition to just being totally structured around first-time students, we also have an elaborate training environment that I think all of you will enjoy. So that's what we're here to do. That is our mission, and thus far we have been doing it. Our colleagues at the University of, pardon me, my microphone is acting up just a little bit. Our colleagues at the University of South Florida, they do our marketing and they produce this poster at the end of our 1st season. And I think it tells our story pretty well. So who won? Literally everyone. All the students that attended really enjoyed it and built some skills that they can use for the future. We have a 97% student satisfaction rate with our experience. So we know that students enjoy it. Faculty enjoy the fact that we're there to help you nurture your cybersecurity teams along. We also have a vast collection of things in our sandbox that can help you teach some of the elements of cybersecurity that you may not be 100% comfortable with. We know that not all cyber faculty are Linux gurus. Our competition on the blue team side requires them to defend Linux machines from simulated attacks. So we know that not everyone is comfortable with that. And so our lead faculty member, James Rice, has produced 10 hours of tutorial video indexed in 230 places. So if there's any particular Linux administration skill, any particular technique that you need to learn or you're stuck on, both you and your students can go to an exact clip and see just the 5 minutes worth of instruction and tutorial that you need. So we hope that we have built that sandbox in a way that all of you can connect with it and you appreciate it and can use it. So students, faculty, the program office, we at MVCC, everyone wins with the NCAE Cyber Games. So what we've done in the past, I'll just talk about the 2023 games, which were great. We had a lot of students participate, but we most appreciated all the back and forth in Discord and how the community has lived on beyond the games in 2023. This was also our 1st year of doing an in-person finals. So we were really happy to have Tony and his team join us down in Tampa. It was a really special event. And we felt the love from all the students at that event. It was nice to be in person again, and we're looking forward to that again this year. So the Invitational, we're calling it the Invitational rather than the finals, will be held in April at the University of South Florida in Tampa once again. Our numbers, some of these numbers are a little fuzzy, but the ones we can absolutely guarantee is that we had about 700 total students, about 73 different colleges, and about 91 total teams. So yes, you can have more than one team participate in the NCAE Cyber Games, and many schools do. Since this is an introductory event, many schools have more than one team, and that's worked out very well. The other numbers you see on the screen are interesting in that we're nerding out on our scoring system. So in Capture the Flag, over the course of the season, we gave out 91,000 total points. 8,500 challenges were attempted and 1,300 challenges were scored in CTF. And then on the bottom, our scoring engine monitors service uptime and gives out service checks and points every single minute of the competition. And so 4,600 by teams in one event. And over the course of the whole season, our scoring system did over 1 million checks on services. So a lot of stuff happening in the background with our scoring capabilities. But on to the schedule, because that's where we are right now. Our first regional event is happening a week and a half from now. And as you can see, actually it's coming up this weekend on the 17th. So as you can see, the Northeast Regional and the Midwest Regional are both coming up on the 17th. We do our events a little bit small. And that's because at the end of our events, we want the students to stand up or get on camera and talk about what went well, what went poorly, and anything funny that happened during the day. And we found if you get beyond 10 or 12 teams, it doesn't work anymore. And people stop recognizing individuals. And so we do on every Saturday that we run a competition, we do side-by-side competitions, one in the East Coast and earlier and one in the West Coast a little bit later. And so that's the structure that you see. For any region that you are in, you will have 2 different opportunities to participate in a regional competition. So for example, Northeast 1 is this weekend and Northeast 2 is on March 9th. In addition to that, we have overflow events at the very tail end of our calendar. So for any reason you can't compete on your 2 regional days, or if something happens and your team can't compete on the day of the competition, we have that as kind of the slush fund at the end of the event. So that all builds up into the end of March. And then the invitational is in Tampa on April 20th.
Hey, Mike, can I interrupt for a question real quick?
Sure.
These Northeast 1 and Northeast 2, is Northeast 1 the qualifier for Northeast 2, or are these just 2 separate qualifying events?
Good question. They are all at the same tier. These are all qualifiers for the invitational.
Excellent. Thank you.
Very good question. Thank you. So number 1 question, how do I sign up? We have transitioned to a student-centered registration system that I hope all of you really appreciate. In the past, we've had faculty and our regional leads as the middle people between who is registering and when are they competing and who's on the roster. In the off season, we've invested a lot of software engineering into a student automatic registration system. And the process works in that both you and your students can all register at ncacybergames.org right now. Once you are in our system, you have access to our sandbox where you can look at the tutorial videos, you can access our automated virtual environments that deploy on demand. The whole training environment is available to you just by registering. Once you're on into our system, the students can opt to build a team for your school. And so the team captain will build a team. They can import any students that have registered for attached to their school onto a team within our team management system. And then once the team is assembled, the captain can then go and register for a specific event. And we've been working, we do authentication based on email address. So we've been working through that. We have some manual work we do on some of you, but for the most part, this system has been working and it's really taken away a lot of the overhead for the faculty that need to help mentor students into competition. So the students themselves are building their team, they're registering for an event. They need to have an advisor. And as an advisor, you're just there to mentor them and help them through the mechanics of the event and help them get ready. Not a very formal role for you in our event, but they're required to have an advisor in order to register for a competition date. So this is all completely automated. I think everyone will really appreciate it and what has happened in the off season, help us get ready and make this season a little bit smoother. So externally, we have support at c2games.org is how you can reach out to us if you have any problems. On the inside of the event, once you're in, our Discord environment is really elaborate and there's a lot of ways for you to ask us questions in there. In particular, the number 1 question we get other than how do I sign up is this competition right for me? And we are looking for first-time students. We're looking for students that don't have a lot of competition experience, but we found that to be a really fuzzy line. And so rather than have a hard set of rules, what we've transitioned to is we just talk about it. And so when students come into the Discord environment, we have a channel, it's just pound, is this competition right for me? And there's lots of information in there about, and you can talk directly with our team. If you have a little experience, but you're not sure if you're right, we just talk it through. And so there's lots of support both externally and internally to our environment. Here is how you can connect with us directly. And I'll take any quick questions that you might have before we transition to our new colleagues that we hope to build a pipeline to. We're hoping that students from the NCAA Cyber Games have a great experience and move on to participate in the Vivid competition, and they are coming up next. But if there are any very quick questions, I'm happy to take a few here or in the chat box.
Jake, I do have one more question if I can be a pest. Is this open to students of any level, or are you just looking for undergrads, or can graduate students also participate?
We found that some graduate students that could need this experience as well.
Okay.
Jake, there's a question in the chat box that asks if students can participate in a school that is currently in a CAE designated process, or if the POS is approved.
That's a really good question. The program office has allowed us to add schools in that status where we have capacity. So what I would suggest is reach out to us on the support channel or through any of our socials, and we will put you on some kind of a virtual waiting list. And if a regional competition doesn't fill, we'll add you into the event wherever we have capacity, and we'd love to work with you. And thanks for that question. And with that, I will exit stage left. Thank you everyone for your time, especially you, Tony and Vanessa, and the office.
Thanks, Jake. I loved the competition last year. It had a great dynamic to it. I think that was really outstanding. It wasn't a competition where everybody was really kind of segregated into their own camps, but at the end they all came together, all the students from all the schools. I was very impressed with that. You've set a really good tone for the competition.
Thanks, Tony.
Now we have Mike from the Vivid project. Vivid is a new project that is a multi-institutional. They will also be running the National Cybersecurity Education Colloquium coming up this year, later in the year. I believe the dates are in October, and it's going to be in St. Louis. But Mike is here to talk about their cyber competition. So I'm going to turn things over. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm Michael Nowakowski from Augusta University, and I'm going to talk to you just for a few minutes about the Vivid competition. All right, so the Vivid Coalition is led by University of Alabama in Huntsville, made up of Augusta University, University of Arizona, and Florida International University. There's three parts to the grant that we were awarded. One of those is hosting a competition, a series of competitions, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. The first part of the competition is a virtual competition. There's more information on the CAE community website. If you go to the community website and click on the news link, the Vivid competition application for spring 24 should show up near the top of that list. Basically, the competition will be held over 4 days. The first day, the day 0, is really just to familiarize teams with the competition platform. It will be hosted on the Georgia Cyber Range, so you don't need any particular equipment or anything at your location to participate. As long as you can connect to a web server, that's where you'll connect to the competition platform, and everything will happen over that. Day 1 will be a Jeopardy style CTF that will provide some insight as to what's going to happen on day 2 and day 3 of the competition. Day 2 is mostly red team events, where you'll have to penetrate a system and then look for clues on the system related to the scenario. And then day 3 is more blue team events where you're doing more incident response type challenges, no live red team attacks, more incident response and trying to do some figuring out what happened on another attack. So those days will be 11 to 14 March. The platform will be open for most of each competition day, and we're limiting the time on the platform for each team to about 6 hours each day. That way students don't have to worry about missing class or anything like that, or there's no big advantage for teams that may be able to spend all day on the platform versus those who have limited amounts of time. And that 6 hours is based on the first member of the team logging on to the competition environment. Then the top 15 teams from the virtual event will move on to the live event that will happen during the CAE annual colloquium. Believe that's going to be like starting on the 10th of October, but the dates are not firm just yet. We have about 75 teams already registered for the event. We can handle probably about 200 teams on the platform, so we still have quite a bit of room. The registration window is open until the 28th or 29th of February. If you do have any particular questions, you can contact myself or Josh Pauli at University of Arizona. We're kind of the co-leads on the competition part of this grant. That's all I have. Thank you for your time and allowing me to speak to you today.
You have a couple of questions in the chat box. Let's see, Jay's asking if day 0 is just a prep day, do students need a full 6 hours in order to get the necessary orientation?
No, on day 0, it'll probably be just about an hour's worth of time just to make sure that the students can get onto the platform, that they are able to pull challenges from the challenge platform, just so that there's no delays when they try to enter on day 1 of the competition.
But he should be.
Somebody's got their mic on.
Yeah, he's in the meeting.
Nelbert, your mic is on. Sorry.
His office is open.
Nelbert, there you go. Thank you. All right. Any other competition or questions for Mike?
All right.
Okay.
Thanks again for your time. Hope to see you at the event.
I look forward to all the different activities that you have going on. I have one last thing I wanted to sneak in here for you. And that is, there was a reference Mike made to the CAE community website. And as you can see, I have 126 tabs open. So you can find as always, lots of news and events. There's some rebuilding that is happening behind the scenes on these areas. But we wanted to let you know that you can now see the new version of the CAE map, which includes new filtering ability, where you can filter now by designation type. You can filter based on whether or not you want to look at MSI designations, states, and also a distance band on here, so that if, say, a student or prospective person that's interested in cybersecurity education puts in their zip code and says, I'm looking for schools within 100 miles, they can see all of that, as well as turning on whether or not they were a GenCyber host. So I'll just go ahead and put in, actually my university, that'll get me closer, and 50 miles, apply. Boom, here we go. Here's all of the schools within 50 miles of me that are designated as CAEs. And down below, here are the details on those schools. So if we took a look at Cal Poly Pomona or Cal State San Bernardino, here's information. There's a PDF that tells you all about the school. So if you turned in your PDF each school, there'll be an update coming. You'll get an email saying, hey, we want your informational PDF. This goes into the annual yearbook that will be published. You can find it there. You find out all sorts of different information about the school, their website, and where they are on the map. You can also look just by clicking on the map. Here we go. We'll take this one right here. Whoops. Yeah, it's like I've never done this before. There you go. If you click actually on the point on the map, it has the logo of the school. It tells you some basic information, and again, where you can find information about the school. What's good is now you can also just get a quick glimpse by clicking on the plus. Gives you a full outline of more about that institution, including in the case of Cal Poly Pomona, you see other links and etc. So take your time, go through the map. I don't want to go through it in super detail, but check your own profile. If there's something off, the first place you should do is go update in the tool, your application tool, update your profile information there, because we get a feed from that tool that goes directly to this map. Everybody good with that? That's the first place. And then if there are other issues, there is a email at the bottom. Oh, let me share my screen again so that I'm not just waving my hands around. If you see other issues, there are some emails. If it's a map information update request, you see there's an email down here. And then also if there's questions about your current designation status, you can email the CAE program office. And the map gets updated about weekly, but we're glad to talk with you. But I would take if you have time, take a moment today, check out your own institution. But I think this is going to be very helpful, especially as we pivot towards different audiences being served by the map, namely people looking for where they might be able to go to school. Any other questions, comments, things that are concerning? Let's see. I see. Cal Poly Pomona says we got the CPP logo wrong. Yes, that we don't get the logo. We get the logo from somebody at Cal Poly Pomona. So if it's wrong, please send us the one you prefer. Bill wants to know when the CAER renewal site is open. We're supposed to be January 15th. That is a question for the candidates program. We'll, I believe they have put something out, but we'll, I'll call them for you, Bill, and see if we can find out, or you can contact the candidates program. And then who to contact for more accurate info? Again, the web support at CAE Community. We will be glad to answer those emails. That we're putting together a template and a questionnaire to make it easier for you to submit your if there's a discrepancy on the info. But the first place to go is go into the tool and make sure everything is corrected there. All right.
I have something to ask.
Please.
I got a question. Will the slides be available, Jake and Michael, for this audience?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Okay.
what's the preferred method for doing that?
You can just send them to me. I'm putting together
Pretty good.
a template so I can send it out.
Not too
to-
bad, except for I got my Zoom thing.
I'm putting out a template and sending it out to this group and the rest of the community. So you can just send them to me. That was my only question.
Okay, very good. As I pointed out on the website, you can see where if you need help, but the first step is to make sure your institution info is correct at the program office. And then the email is websupport@caecommunity.org. You can go to the CAE Community website and find that. All right. So with that, I'm gonna call it a day. If you have questions related to your profile, or you wanted to update it for this year, stay tuned. There's going to be a questionnaire that is sent out to you. And Amy keeps coming in my office and looking at me like, am I going to say something? Do you want to say something, Amy?
Yeah, just that we're updating all the flyers.
We are updating all the flyers for all of the schools this year. That's right. Well, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I will say that actually my calendar is very socially popular. My calendar is very popular. It has a lot of dates.
Why should it be any different, Tony?
There you go. A lot of dates. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you next month.
Bye,
Thank
all.
you.
Happy
Thank you very
Valentine's
much.
Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all in April. Yep. Bye.